Imagine yourself standing amid the smoke and chaos of an ancient battlefield, your heart thundering in your chest as the cries of legendary warriors echo around you. These warriors aren't just heroes, they're legends who forged their names in history through sheer bravery, tactical genius, and unmatched fighting prowess. From fierce gladiators to strategic masterminds, each of these warriors reshaped the world in their own unique way. Today, we rank the top 10 greatest warriors of ancient times, from the powerful to the truly unstoppable, uncovering exactly why their legacies endure and their names still evoke awe. Coming in at number 10, we begin with Spartacus, the Thracian gladiator whose defiance shook the very foundations of Rome. Spartacus, originally a soldier from Thrace, was captured and sold into slavery, destined to fight as a gladiator for Roman entertainment. But Spartacus refused to accept this fate. His rebellion ignited when he and his fellow gladiators overpowered their captors, using kitchen utensils as improvised weapons. Spartacus quickly transformed from a gladiator into a charismatic military leader, rallying tens of thousands of slaves and disenfranchised Romans. Under his command, this ragtag army inflicted several humiliating defeats on Roman legions, demonstrating extraordinary tactical acumen. Spartacus not only symbolized resistance, but challenged Rome's very social structure. His campaign, although ultimately suppressed, left an indelible mark on history, representing an enduring struggle for freedom against tyranny. At number 9, we journey to the rugged, icy landscapes of ancient Scandinavia, home to Ragnar Lothbrok, the legendary Viking chieftain. Ragnar's life blurred the lines between historical fact and legendary saga, yet his impact remains undeniably profound. He was not merely a warrior, but a masterful navigator and cunning strategist. Leading daring raids into territories across the English Channel, Ragnar terrorized kingdoms and amassed incredible wealth. His legacy persisted through his sons, notably Ivar the Boneless and Björn Ironside, who expanded their father's conquests, shaping medieval European history. Ragnar's exploits inspired countless tales of heroism and bravery, encapsulating the fierce spirit of the Viking Age. He exemplified the ruthless effectiveness of Viking warfare, utilizing rapid surprise attacks and psychological intimidation to overwhelm opponents, permanently altering the geopolitical landscape of medieval Europe. Number 8 takes us to the vast steppes of Mongolia, to Subutai, the general who transformed Genghis Khan's vision into reality. Subutai, despite his relatively obscure origins, became one of history's greatest military minds. Known as the Dog of War, he was instrumental in expanding the Mongol Empire into Europe and Asia, orchestrating sophisticated campaigns that decimated powerful civilizations. Subutai masterfully coordinated movements of massive armies across thousands of miles, employing groundbreaking tactics like feigned retreats and encirclement maneuvers. His victories were achieved through unprecedented logistical management and a deep understanding of enemy weaknesses. Subutai's legacy endures in military strategy textbooks, recognized universally as an exemplar of tactical genius whose innovations reshaped medieval warfare and empire building. Ranked 7th is the indomitable Hannibal Barca, the Carthaginian general who famously crossed the Alps to threaten the heart of Rome itself. Hannibal, raised with an unyielding hatred for Rome, epitomized strategic brilliance. His audacious journey through the Alps with a force of infantry, cavalry, and war elephants is among history's most celebrated military feats, demonstrating unmatched determination and tactical ingenuity. At the Battle of Cannae, Hannibal's use of double envelopment decisively annihilated a vastly superior Roman force, making it one of the greatest victories in military history. Although Hannibal could never fully conquer Rome, his relentless pressure profoundly impacted Roman military reforms and strategy, leaving a lasting legacy that continued to influence military thinking centuries later. At number 6, we find Miyamoto Musashi, the undefeated samurai whose name has become synonymous with the pinnacle of martial skill. Musashi's reputation as Japan's greatest swordsman is unrivaled, underscored by his undefeated record in more than 60 duels. His fighting style was revolutionary, wielding two swords simultaneously in a method he called Niten Ichi Ryu. Beyond physical prowess, Musashi emphasized psychological warfare, advocating mental preparation, calmness, and adaptability. His philosophical treatise, The Book of Five Rings, transcends martial arts, applying strategic insights to various aspects of life and business. Musashi's legacy endures not merely as a warrior, but as a profound thinker whose approach to strategy and combat continues to inspire and instruct globally. Coming in fifth, we meet Alexander the Great, whose unprecedented military conquests reshaped the ancient world. Alexander's ascension began under the tutelage of Aristotle, blending intellectual rigor with martial excellence. His military genius was evident early on, employing innovative battle formations like the Macedonian phalanx, supported by swift cavalry charges. Alexander swiftly subdued Persia, Egypt, and extended his empire into India, often personally leading the charge and inspiring troops through his remarkable bravery. His cultural impact was immense, spreading Hellenistic culture far and wide. Alexander's legacy lies not only in his military achievements, but also in his profound influence on global civilization, demonstrating how a single visionary leader can reshape history. Number 4 belongs to Julius Caesar, Rome's most celebrated general and statesman. Caesar's extraordinary life combined political cunning with military genius, dramatically expanding Rome's territories. His conquest of Gaul involved meticulous planning, innovative siege tactics, and diplomatic cunning, significantly enriching Rome and enhancing his prestige. Caesar's battlefield strategies involved bold maneuvers and decisive actions, exemplified during his pivotal victory at Alesia. Beyond military conquest, Caesar revolutionized governance, initiating reforms that stabilized Rome and laid the foundations for the Roman Empire. His assassination, driven by political rivalry, underscores the potent legacy of his ambition, vision, and the transformative power of his leadership. Third on our list is Leonidas of Sparta, the warrior king whose last stand at Thermopylae epitomizes ultimate bravery and sacrifice. Leonidas's disciplined leadership of 300 elite Spartans against tens of thousands of Persian invaders immortalized him as the embodiment of Spartan courage. His steadfast defense at Thermopylae, despite overwhelming odds, symbolized heroic resistance, inspiring Greek city-states to unify against a common threat. Leonidas's sacrifice transcended mere military valor, epitomizing principles of honor, duty, and resilience. His legacy endures as a timeless symbol of sacrifice and steadfast courage, continually inspiring individuals and cultures facing seemingly insurmountable odds. At number 2, we celebrate Sun Tzu, the ancient Chinese general whose masterpiece, The Art of War, remains the most influential military text ever written. Sun Tzu's contribution extends beyond battlefield strategy, offering profound insights into human nature, psychology, and leadership. He articulated the critical importance of deception, intelligence gathering, and adaptability, emphasizing victory through minimal direct conflict. His strategic principles influenced not only military commanders, but leaders across various sectors, including politics and business. Sun Tzu's enduring wisdom reveals an unmatched understanding of strategic thinking, cementing his position not just as a warrior, but as history's most profound military philosopher. Finally, at the pinnacle of our ranking, we crown Genghis Khan, the warrior whose empire-building transformed the globe. Genghis Khan unified disparate Mongol tribes into a disciplined, loyal, and devastatingly effective military force. He introduced revolutionary concepts in warfare, such as psychological intimidation, rapid cavalry maneuvers, and highly efficient logistical systems. His ability to adapt to various terrains and climates facilitated the Mongol Empire's unparalleled expansion. Beyond warfare, Genghis Khan implemented administrative innovations that ensured stability and cultural exchange within his vast empire. His legacy, complex and enduring, profoundly impacted global history, establishing Genghis Khan unquestionably as history's greatest warrior and empire builder. These warriors weren't just fighters, they were architects of history whose actions shaped cultures, nations, and even the trajectory of civilization itself. Their stories continue to fascinate, inspire, and teach us that strength lies not just in physical prowess, but in courage, strategy, and indomitable will. Yet beyond their individual achievements, the warriors we've explored also highlight the evolving nature of warfare, leadership, and legacy. Each had a unique style of command, ranging from charismatic inspiration to ruthless discipline, and their impact rippled across history, influencing generations far beyond their lifetimes. Take Spartacus, whose fierce defiance against Rome did more than ignite rebellion. It created a symbol of hope and resistance that resonated throughout history, inspiring revolts and movements centuries after his death. His courage, born from the depths of oppression, demonstrated the universal power of fighting against seemingly impossible odds. The Roman Empire itself recognized the threat Spartacus represented, not merely military but ideological, and sought to eradicate his memory. Ironically, their attempts only solidified his legendary status, reminding future generations of the power inherent in defiance and the human yearning for freedom. Similarly, Ragnar Lothbrok's legacy reveals how legends and history intertwine, crafting a narrative that fueled Viking ambition for generations. The sagas recounting his adventures were not merely tales for entertainment, but blueprints for future warriors, illustrating the virtues of bravery, cunning, and audacity. Ragnar's raids also underscored the importance of psychological warfare, using fear and unpredictability as weapons that could weaken an enemy from within. His descendants carried this legacy forward, permanently reshaping Europe's political and cultural landscapes through conquest and settlement, leaving a profound Viking imprint still visible today. Subutais' influence extended far beyond mere battlefield victories. His innovative strategies became enduring lessons for military tacticians. Modern military academies continue to study his campaigns, particularly his use of mobility, psychological warfare, and adaptability in unfamiliar terrains. Subutais' brilliance wasn't just in achieving victory, it was in redefining what victory could look like, proving that conquest could be swift, decisive, and devastatingly effective, setting benchmarks future military commanders aspired to emulate. Hannibal Barca's daring strategies, notably his Alpine crossing and the Battle of Cannae, not only inspired awe but forced Rome itself to evolve. The Romans, humiliated and stunned by Hannibal's repeated successes, began adopting Carthaginian tactics, reorganizing their legions, and reassessing their strategies. Hannibal's campaigns inadvertently catalyzed Rome's military maturation, transforming it into an even more formidable force. His relentless drive exemplified how a single visionary leader could compel an entire civilization to adapt or face extinction. Miyamoto Musashi's martial philosophy transcended personal combat, profoundly influencing Japanese culture, emphasizing discipline, mindfulness, and strategic thinking. His doctrine, emphasizing mental clarity and the mastery of self above all else, resonated beyond martial arts. Business leaders, athletes, and philosophers worldwide continue to apply Musashi's teachings, finding clarity and effectiveness in his timeless insights. Musashi's legacy embodies the idea that true warriors conquer not just external foes, but internal weaknesses, achieving mastery through relentless self-improvement and discipline. Alexander the Great's legacy isn't merely territorial expansion, but cultural synthesis. He created a world more interconnected than ever before, facilitating unprecedented exchanges in trade, ideas, and culture. His establishment of Alexandria epitomized this vision, a city blending Greek, Persian, Egyptian, and Indian influences, becoming a beacon of intellectual and cultural advancement. Alexander demonstrated that military conquest could pave the way for progress, innovation, and the fusion of diverse civilizations, reshaping humanity's cultural trajectory in ways still felt today. Julius Caesar's profound influence extends far beyond his military triumphs. He transformed the very fabric of governance, shaping Rome into an empire whose political and administrative innovations endured for centuries. Caesar understood that true victory involved stabilizing conquered territories and integrating them through effective governance. His reforms in land distribution, citizenship, and centralization of power laid the foundational structures that enabled Rome's sustained dominance, illuminating the link between battlefield victories and stable governance. Leonidas's stand at Thermopylae became more than a heroic defeat. It turned into an enduring narrative that inspired future acts of valor and sacrifice. By choosing certain death to buy time for Greek forces, Leonidas taught the world about honor, duty, and self-sacrifice, immortalizing the Spartan ethos. The story of Thermopylae resonated through history, influencing military cultures worldwide, emphasizing the importance of unity, discipline, and steadfast resolve in the face of overwhelming odds. Sun Tzu's principles transformed warfare into a sophisticated art form. His insights transcended tactical planning, permeating diplomacy, economics, and corporate strategy. Modern leaders continue to study Sun Tzu, adapting his wisdom to contemporary challenges, reinforcing his timeless relevance. His teachings underscore the value of intelligence, adaptability, and strategy, principles that apply universally, demonstrating how profound strategic insight remains eternally relevant. At the summit, Genghis Khan's legacy illustrates warfare's profound potential to reshape global history. By forging an unprecedented empire, Genghis Khan facilitated cultural exchanges, stimulated trade along the Silk Road, and accelerated technological diffusion. His empire's administrative efficiency and tolerant governance fostered stability and integration across vast distances, reshaping Eurasia's political and economic landscapes. His legacy demonstrates the far-reaching impact of visionary leadership, where conquest translates into enduring global change. Ultimately, the warriors we've examined were more than just fighters. They represented the very ideals that civilizations cherish: bravery, resilience, strategic brilliance, and visionary leadership. Each warrior, in their unique way, redefined what it meant to be great, leaving legacies etched permanently into the fabric of history. Their stories remind us that true greatness transcends mere physical prowess, encompassing wisdom, courage, innovation, and above all, an unwavering commitment to shaping the future. Through their lives and deeds, these warriors continue to inspire humanity, teaching lessons in strength, leadership, and the indomitable power of the human spirit.